Okay, so we've got a new episode of Legends and Leaders, and today it's great to have Chris here. Chris, you are behind Agent Arena, which is a new way for people to get the right kind of deals on their home and put it out there and get, more of a process of inviting agents to it. So getting their feedback from a different perspective instead of just the way the competition has been done in this industry. And the goal is to give more transparent pricing, to give better pricing, and to be a win-win for everybody with this. And you've got a lot of experience in the category, so you know the problems and the pain points. And I'm excited to have you here and to get into your story.
For sure. Thanks for having me. This is awesome. So I've been in real estate for, gosh, almost 20 years now, and I've been effectively a real estate developer. So that means, I buy land, build the house, sell the house. So I've been on both sides as the homeowner, and in the past, I used to hire a listing agent to sell the house for me. And in that process, being on both sides of the fence, I kind of saw the problems in the industry, especially for the homeowner. So when a homeowner wanted to sell their home, how they found their listing agent in the past was, they knew agents from friends, or they personally knew someone that was an agent, or they saw someone on a billboard or whatnot, and they interviewed one, two, maybe three people, and kind of just chose that person. All they did was, chose that person. And to me, it didn't really make sense. And that's kind of why we came up with Agent Arena, because what was happening in the business was that these listing agents, they need the business. And in order to get the listing, they would basically lie to the homeowners often and promise, say, oh, I'll get you $5 million for your house, when they knew that it would only be worth, 3.5 or 4 million. And, it's a common thing, and it's kind of like what they have to do to get the business. But then they have to, after that happens, they have to, their only mechanism of selling the house is to say, hey, listen, we can't get $5 million for your house. We have to drop the price. So, it became kind of annoying for homeowners, because I've talked to a lot of homeowners about it, and it says like, yeah, that's what they do to win the listing, and then they kind of pester you to drop the price as soon as they have it. And I just didn't think that was fair for the homeowners. And what it was also doing, it was giving realtors a bad rap, and I actually, about 15 years ago, became a realtor, and I didn't like how this was the process. And because this was the process, we had a bad rap. So that's kind of why I started Agent Arena.
Mm-hmm. So just through your journey as a realtor, how long did it take you to figure out this was an issue? What were you kind of doing beforehand to maybe even try to solve this on your own?
Well, I was building houses, and I was hiring realtors to sell them, and it was happening to me. That's how I knew it was a problem, and that's why I got my real estate license, so I could avoid it, because it was really frustrating, because we set up the whole business plan of development based on what realtors were saying to me, and then I realized, well, what they were saying to me was kind of not reality. They said that just to get the job, and then reality was what the market dictated. And you never know what the market's going to dictate with what realtors say, but with Agent Arena, the realtors have to put their money where their mouth is. So there's no broken promises, and it's really cool.
Right. So how did this get built? Like, I know the idea, but how did you actually make it happen?
Yeah. So, man, if I knew how challenging, and how hard tech was, I probably wouldn't have done it. So I was really happy that I didn't know that, or it wouldn't have come to life. But it was about a 2-year build. I started. Actually, I started with two, dev house contractors that would give me a fixed price, and it was kind of, those were great learning experiences. But ultimately, I realized that at the end of the day, I needed to have my own in-house team. And about a year ago, I quit I fired the contracted developers, and I started hiring my own team of developers. And we that was so much better. Everyone was fully committed to the product. We got it out there about 3 months ago, and it's been an amazing journey ever since.
So just getting it out there, when you got a nice network in the space, I'm sure at this point in time, like what were you thinking was the right way to market this and get the kind of traction you need? Or is it just taking your own buildings and, homes that you've built and putting it on, starting it like that?
Yeah, so it's funny. I've got 2 homes that are for sale right now. Those are my last homes that I'm doing, and then I'm going to focus fully on Agent Arena. And they're finished, and they're just listed right now. My wife is our listing agent for these houses. So, but she loves Agent Arena, so she said, if they don't sell by the time these listings run out, then we'll go ahead and use Agent Arena to find a listing agent. And if she wants to put that bid in to win the listing, she can do that type thing. But no. So what I wanted to do was start really small. We kind of figured that the perfect people to use Agent Arena were people that didn't have a strong relationship with a realtor. So that when you think of that, you think of major metros. Like I've got a bunch of friends in New York City, for example, and I asked those friends, like, do you know a realtor? And they're all like, no, we don't know a realtor. But in a small town where I live currently, like Vero Beach, everyone kind of knows a realtor intimately. So because of that, we want to start focusing on the major metros. And we launched it down in South Florida, down in Miami, and we're taking advantage of those types of areas. And if we can get the proof of concept going in Miami, which we do, we're going to start expanding to Tampa, Orlando, Jacksonville, all these types of areas, and then from there go nationwide. So I'm really hoping by mid to the end of 2026, we'll be getting out of Florida and going nationwide.
Why is Florida such a good place to begin?
Well, it's where I live, and I don't necessarily think it's the best place. I think a place like New York City would be best, the ultimate place. But it's where I live, and I know Miami. So when we're developing the technology, getting all the data and stuff, I know the zip codes. So it's just a natural process of choosing Florida as the place to be.
How does the live auction process work? So agents are competing in this. They submit bids. What does that mean?
Yeah. Okay. So we probably should have done that at first for the viewers, but this is exactly how it works. If you're a homeowner, and you need to sell your home, the first thing you need to do is find a listing agent. So this is how it works with Agent Arena, and it's really cool. You have to choose the price you want for your home, and there's so many tools out there for homeowners to use right now to really identify what they can get for their home. Whether it's Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, there's a whole bunch of tools that realtors can use. So they say, hey, listen, honey, if we can get $2 million for our home, would you take it? Yeah, sure. So they say, we want $2 million for our home. That's the first thing they put on the website. Then they say, okay, and this is the beauty. They get to choose the commission that they're offering their listing agent. And it's broken down into 0.25% intervals. So they could say, okay, I want to offer my listing agent 1.5% or 1.75% or 2.25%. And they get to kind of study those numbers and actually see what percentage commission they want to offer the listing agent. Whereas traditionally, the realtor would come in and say, hey, no, I'm doing 3%. That's it. And you can't really negotiate, or it's awkward to negotiate because you're right in front of them. So the second thing you do is choose the commission. And then the third thing you do is choose how long of a duration, whether that's a 6-month contract you want to give this realtor, 9-month, 12-month, whatever it is, you got to choose. And then from there, you see the top 100 agents ranked in your zip code. And you can choose as many of those agents as you want to what we call enter the arena, which is a live online auction where they bid for the exclusive right to list your home. So it's super cool. It's very transparent. The realtor has to look at the job, say, well, can I get $2 million for that house? Am I okay with 1.75% commission? If they're okay with that, they think they can get 2.2 million. Then they're going to enter the arena, and it's very cheap to enter the arena. I think it's $69 for each realtor to enter the arena, and then bidding starts at 5% of what the realtor stands to make. So, an easy example would be, say it's $1 million home, and say they're offering, let's make it easy numbers, 1% commission. So that realtor in that example would stand to make $10,000 on the job. So bidding would start at $500 in that case, which is 5% of the $10,000 that they stand to make.
So, I mean, has this been tested yet, the bidding process?
Yeah, we tested it, and it's super cool. The homeowners love it, and you know what? To our surprise, the agents have loved it too. And it's been super cool. A lot, like say on average, I've got the numbers of what the averages have been so far, but it's been about 25 agents that the homeowners have invited. And I would say that on average, we get about between 5 and 10 agents that are okay with the deal and enter the arena and compete for it. So you have 5 or 10 of the top agents in your zip code competing to get your business. I mean, it's so cool. The homeowners love it, and the agents, they don't have to bid. If they don't like the job, they don't have to bid. But if they like it and they think they can get the number, then they place the bid and see if they can get it.
So what happens if they don't get it? How does that work? Is there any refund process, or it's just that's it? They've
Well,
committed.
the $69 that they paid to enter the arena, that's gone. And if they don't get the bid, then there's no money invested. Now, a better question would have been if say they win the bid, and say it's $5,000 they pay to get a listing. Now, if they sell the home, well, that money's gone. That's non-refundable. Okay, so say if they sold the home, they get that $25,000, $30,000 commission, and they've invested $5,000 to get that. But if they don't sell the home, that money's gone. So it really puts skin in the game for these agents, and it's no broken promises. And I'll tell you what, if this is the way that agents get their listings, no one will ever have a bad thing to say about real estate agents ever again. So because they're committed to the project. They've got skin in the game. It's really cool. I'm not like, I'm obviously biased about that, but it is really cool. And really, we use the word pure. It's really pure. It's really fair. And yeah, no, I love it. I'm so passionate about it.
Is there anything that like kind of keeps the homeowner like accountable as well? Like, so are they basically entering into like some sort of legal arrangement that they have to give you the exclusive listing when
Well,
you do
exactly
that?
that. There's terms and conditions, and they give you the exclusive listing, and then they have to present the home the same way that the home was presented so the realtors have a 2-hour open house window before the auction starts, where they can go to the house, check out the house, make sure it's in good condition, do their own due diligence, and really see if they can get what the homeowner wants. And the home has to be in the same, if not better, condition for each showing as it was in the open house. And that's in the terms and conditions. So if a homeowner's, no, this hasn't happened yet, but and it's an extreme example. If a homeowner was trying to cheat the system and get a bid and then have no real intention to sell the house, and they make the home a total mess, the agent could simply take photos. We hold the money in escrow on our end. And if that was the case, we would simply return the money to the agent and said that, this homeowner is trying to scam you. But that's a pretty extreme example, and that hasn't happened yet. So
How do you think you're going to grow this? Is this going to be like a substantial digital marketing effort you're going to need to do to get a lot of these different homes on the platform?
yeah, just it's going from 0 to 1 is super hard. As you know, I'm sure, but we are doing the whole digital marketing deal, social media. A lot of word of mouth. For example, we had an auction that happened. He told one of his best friends about it. His best friend did it. So we hope it's going to grow organically like that. But we're doing all the marketing channels, and yeah, we're not casting the net wide and saying, okay, we're going to launch this in all the United States, because we think that would be too, what's the word? It wouldn't be deep enough marketing. So we're really like focusing our marketing on South Florida and giving a good effort there. And then once we kind of that market takes, then we're going to move on to the next, and we're going to kind of just expand organically like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, 6 months ago, I don't have a marketing background, so it's been a huge learning curve for me. We've hired some great marketing teams. I've learned a lot, and yeah, I think we have a great strategy. I'm super happy about it.
How difficult is international expansion with the way things are structured with realtors over there, and just different in
Yeah.
the
So
EU and Asia?
yeah, that would be a challenge, and that's a challenge that I haven't even looked at. I know rules are different in all different countries. For example, I've got a friend in Spain, and he's a dear friend of mine, so we've talked a lot about this. The way that homes are sold over there is totally different. They don't really have like an MLS. It's super strange. It's yeah, it's like Canada has a total MLS system. They would be an easy market to just jump right over and get into. And besides that, I'm not there yet. I gotta see how that would work.
So what do like the short-term goals look like right now, like in terms of actionable items you're trying to achieve?
Short-term goals, that is just getting Miami to a point of getting cash flow positive. And honestly, I think we are a couple months out the way it's going. And once that gets cash flow positive, we're going to jump to the next thing. In terms of immediate goals, we have our marketing plan implemented in Miami, and it's just doing its organic thing. And like from a company standpoint, our goal right now is to get as much. We're developing new commercials for all our ads, and that's the focus right now. And that's fun stuff. I enjoy that.
Commercials like for TV?
Yeah, TV commercials, YouTube commercials, all that. Yeah.
So you're doing TV ads?
Yeah. Well, I think we were on Monday Night Football in South Florida a few weeks ago, so that was pretty cool.
How's that doing?
It's going good. I mean, it's working. People are signing up, and the beauty is we're focusing strictly on homeowners. We're not focusing on the agents just yet. Well, no, I say just yet. We're not focusing on the agents altogether because they get an invite with their MLS associated email and phone number. So if they are in the top 100 and a homeowner chooses them, they get an invite. So it's not like they need to be marketed to. They see a text message and say, hey, Chris Dold wants
Right.
you to potentially list his home. They're going to be interested. They're going to click on it and see what it's all about. And everyone that's got those invites so far has investigated. We thought we would have to reach out to people and say, hey, you've been invited to this. Come on, check it out. The invites have worked, and they're checking it out.
What has been the conversion from them getting invited, like an agent, to actually putting in money and signing up and all that?
The conversion from like a click or from seeing the ad?
From a click, once they're already on and someone's invited them, said, "Hey, I want you to be my agent."
I think I checked this morning and it was about 1.2%.
Okay, so you're getting a
And
good amount of people.
what's that?
It's a good amount of people.
Yeah, it's a good amount of people. We're happy with that. I mean, when you look at all the marketing stuff, you want that to be way higher, but and then the percentage that clicks is from the impressions is also like 1%. So it's really like 1% of 1% of what see the ads are signing up. But I think as time goes on, those numbers are going to go up, and then it's a big thing, right? Selling a home, and it's been the way people have hired a listing agent has been intact for 120 years. So we really have to re-educate people. So I think the snowball effect will be way better than people seeing the ads themselves. If we have the early adopters, and then those early adopters tell their buddies, I think that's the way.
Mhm.
That's where it's going to really take off.
We didn't touch on this earlier, but like, does your sailing background have anything to kind of be helpful with what you're doing now? Is it just the competitiveness that translates over?
Yeah, I think it's that ruthless competitiveness. I think with a tech startup, it's so daunting. The odds are so stacked against you, and in sports, the odds are totally stacked against you as well. And I think it's that kind of ability to trick your mind and say, I can do this. I can win a world championship, I can win a national championship, and I'm going to train for it. It's like kind of like people, my friends that I tell that I talk to about this, they're like, "You're crazy! I can't believe you're trying to do that." And I think it's that sporting background that really, helps.
Mhm. Yeah, I think sports prepares you for a lot in life.
It does.
Yeah.
There's so many ups and downs of life, and I think sports prepares you so well for that.
So you're ready to move out of like the building homes phase now and just fully on this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready to stop and give a full 100% effort to Agent Arena. I think I love designing, building homes. I think I will. I think I'll continue doing that. I'll do it more in a capacity of hiring out a build team, whereas I was so hands on the construction side of things. I don't love construction. I do love architecture and design. So I will keep doing the architecture and design, and then sub out or hire an internal build team. So that's how I would manage both, I think.
And has the tech aspects been a learning curve for you? Like I know you mentioned the marketing's been a lot of learning, but the tech side itself, or do you kind of just have that all taken care of?
Yeah, so it has been such a learning curve, and I think what's so cool about this is we're doing it right on like that crazy curve of the AI.
Mhm.
We have 37 AI agents built out now through Claude, and they like we've got our development team down so small, and it's just crazy because some platform like this to develop and service would take say at least 10, 15 people. But we've got our development team down to less than 3 people. We've got 2 full-time and one kind of that we lean on. But without those AI agents, continually testing the platform, doing quality assurance and all that, it would be really hard to do. So it's super cool. I knew nothing about tech, so it's been a huge learning curve. Luckily, my right hand man knows all about it, so
That's
it's
good.
been great. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Chris, that was all the questions that I had. I appreciate you taking the time and doing this. I think it's great that you have this whole different career, path now and a giant leap you're making into this space. And it's a very
Yeah.
interesting idea. You haven't really seen a change in how homes are bought and sold in a long time. There's been technology to improve processes, but not really change the process like this. And it's pretty
Yeah.
radical. And I think that's exciting. So I look forward to the growth of it all and seeing Agent Arena continue to do well. Thanks for coming
Yeah.
on.
Thank you.